Start.
Hello dear students, I am Dr. Virendra Kumar Sharma, Associate Professor, Chest Medicine. Today I am starting with extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Extrapulmonary tuberculosis causes about 20% of the cases, but it is more in case of HIV. Now, most common site involved in extrapulmonary tuberculosis is lymphadenitis. Lymph nodes most commonly involved are cervical and mediastinal nodes, and then less commonly involved are axillary and inguinal nodes. On clinical examination, generally lymph nodes, cervical nodes are discrete, they are painless, but gradually they becomes matted. Later on they suppurate and sometimes it discharge as a sinus. Sometimes it takes the form of polar stud abscess, but gradually it heals and no surgical intervention is needed. Now, sometimes mediastinal nodes affects the supraclavicular nodes and it is also discharged. Now next is gastrointestinal tuberculosis. Upper GI is rarely affected. It is sometimes recognized, diagnosed during upper GI endoscopy. Ileocecal disease accounts for 50% of the cases. Fever, anorexia, weight loss, night sweats are the common presentations. Sometimes there may be palpable mass in right iliac fossa. 30% case may present as acute abdomen. On CT or ultrasound, it is shown as distension of the abdominal wall and lymph node enlargement and mesenteric lymph node involves are mesenteric nodes, and there is also ascites. Barium enema reveals narrowing, shortening, and distortion of the bowel wall. Cecum is the most commonly involved site. Diagnosis is established by colonoscopy. Sometimes it may present as tuberculous peritonitis, abdominal distension, pain, cough, fever are the common presentations. Ascitic fluid is exudative. On doing laparoscopy, there it reveals multiple white tubercles on the peritoneal and omental surface. No. Sometimes, in case of abdominal tuberculosis, there is also hepatic dysfunction and raised transaminases. Think propose one. Pericardial disease. There are two forms of pericardial disease. One is pericardial effusion and other is constrictive pericarditis. Constitutional symptoms of tuberculosis are less common presenting features. The patient has generally presents with breathlessness and distension of abdomen. There is pulsus paradoxus, raised JVP, hepatomegaly, prominent ascites, and peripheral edema. In case of pericardial effusion, the pericardial dullness is increased, and there is globular enlargement of the heart. X-ray shows pericardial calcification. In pericardial constrictive pericarditis, there is associated third heart sound and atrial fibrillation. Echo is the most important diagnostic to confirm the diagnosis of pericardial effusion and constrictive pericarditis. Glucocorticoid has an important role in this treatment. Now, in case of neurology, the most important is tuberculous meningitis. The patient has all the features of meningitis, and their treatment is same. Now, coming to bone and joints. Most important bone and joint is spinal TB. There is involvement of disc, and it causes involvement of ligament, and then anterior body of the disc is involved, and then later on there is psoas abscess formation which dens in the inguinal area. It is contradictory to the malignant involvement of the vertebral column when there is first the body of the vertebra is involved. In the joints, most commonly involved joint is knee joint and hip joint. The joints are swollen, and there are the constitutional feature of tuberculosis. Now the joints on the X-ray, joint space are narrowed, and there is erosion. There is sometimes onset arthritis. Now, coming to genitourinary tuberculosis. Genitourinary tuberculosis commonly present as hematuria, frequency, dysuria, and style pyuria. In women, it presents as endometrial tuberculosis with causing pelvic pain and swelling. There is infertility. There is sometimes cervicitis, and there is pain in the pelvis. In male, it presents as epididymitis and prostatitis. Now, coming to investigations. Generally, if the patient has cough for 2 to 3 weeks, and there is typical X-ray involvement, we suspect case of tuberculosis. And the diagnosis, and then further investigation is proceeded. Generally, direct microscopy of his sputum establishes the diagnosis. We take two samples. Sometimes, if there is difficulty in taking sample, we also do bronchial lavage or bronchoscopy. And in case of in children, we can also do gastric lavage. Generally, we do in the conventional microscope. It is not so accurate, but light emitting fluorescent microscope has better accuracy. Staining is done by Jean-Linson staining, and then now there is sputum which is positive, may be also cultured by it is solid media, which is it takes 4 to 6 weeks. Liquid media it takes 2 to 6 weeks, but the CV net takes only 2 hours. Now, drug sensitivity is also necessary in the case of tuberculosis. We also may do the others under investigation like full blood count, blood sugar, HIV, and SGPT, SGPT. LP line probe assay is the most important diagnostic tool, and it also detects sensitivity to INH, rifampicin, parazinamide, ethambutol. In case of pleural effusion or CSF examination, we can also do it by ADA. Now, coming to treatment, there are we can treat the case of tuberculosis at home. Hospitalization is only needed when the patient is not taking drug properly, or there is any confusion in diagnosis, or there is any comorbid condition. It is done in 2 phases. For first is intensive phase for 2 months, and then is continuation phase for 4 months. Intensive phase is done by 2 drugs, 4 drugs, that is INH, rifampicin, parazinamide, and ethambutol. And continuation phase is done by 2 drugs, that is INH, rifampicin. If there is the patient belongs to high tuberculosis zone, then we do it by INH, rifampicin, and ethambutol. No. Now, INH or the adverse effect, INH cause peripheral neuropathy or psychosis, and rifampicin causes hepatitis or bowel disorder, or parazinamide cause hyperuricemia or gouty arthritis. Ethambutol may cause tuberculosis. Streptomycin may cause streptomycin causes red blood damage. No. Sometimes glucocorticoid is used in meningeal and pericardial disease, may be used in pleural disease, ureter, and extensive pulmonary. Surgery is indicated in massive hemoptysis, localized lymphedema, consecutive pericarditis, and sometimes suppurative lymphadenitis. Spinal TB and with cord compression may need surgery. After treatment, sputum is taken at 2 months and then 5 months. If it is positive after 5 months, then it is the treatment failure, and then we do for the test for MDR tuberculosis. That's all about. Yeah, 5 minutes was.